That's just my opinion, actually. Um, what's going on right now? If y'all haven't noticed, a lot of artists are selling their catalog for a large amount of paper. I mean, a very large amount of paper. Um, Nelly just sold his portion of his catalog for $50 million. 50 mil. You feel me? $50 million. Let me get into that article. This comes from the Rolling Stone. Nelly gets $50 million for 50% share of the music catalog. The deal includes hits like Hot and Her and Ride With Me. Let me get all these damn ass shit out of the way. My lord, Rolling Stone. I wonder why niggas don't be looking at publications like that. Oh, this extra shit. But anyway, yeah, Nelly has sold a portion of his catalog, um, and now you've heard about Dr. Dre selling their catalog. You've heard about Logic recently sold his catalog for six-figure deals. Who else? It's a few other people that recently sold their catalog. Let me just look at it real quick. We're gonna do some shit on the fly because it's a point I'm getting at right now. So we just gonna get up this whole list right here real quick of people that sold their catalog recently. And this is a website called a Journal of Music, musicalthings.com. Basically, it's a gentleman that's actually putting the prize list together of all the artists that have sold their catalog or their catalog has just been bought recently as of 2022. Number one being Bob Dylan, 100% of his publishing catalog to Universal Music Group. Let's just say Warner Music Group. We're gonna get into why I'm saying Warner Music Group in a second. You got Neil Young sold 50% of his catalog to Hypnosis, estimated $150 million. Stevie Nicks $100 million. Imagine Dragons $100 million. Whitney Houston, her entire catalog went to Primary Wave. The price was undisclosed. David Crosby, Disturbed, The Killers, all their prices are undisclosed, along with Lindsey Buckingham, Barry Manilow, Richie Sambora, Dave Stewart, Blondie. Let's go down the list now. This is a very long list, but I'm just gonna name some notable ones for you guys real quick. Shakira, Ed Roland, Silverchair, Beach Boys. Um, let's go with the OJ's. Like it's a lot of catalog being bought recently. Future, I had noticed Future's catalog was bought recently. That one surprised me. Iggy Azalea, uh, Justin Bieber, $200 million. He sold his catalog. Dr. Dre, I mentioned earlier, $200 million. Um, and like I said, the list goes on. Timberland, for an undisclosed amount, he sold his recently. And then the biggest one recently was Logic, selling, like I said, for a major amount. But I started to wonder why all these people were selling their catalog so much for so much money, and who the fuck was buying up all this shit? Like, who was really spending all this money? And I noticed the partner that bought Logic's masters in publishing was a very familiar name that I started seeing a lot around in all the articles, and their name is Influence Media Partners. Influence Media Partners has been working with Warner Music Group lately to buy up masters and catalog. So, just a couple of press items that they have on their website, for instance, right? At the very bottom, you scroll down there, press items read superstar producer Taney sells catalog to Influence Media in $25 million deal exclusive. That comes from the publication Variety. Billboard. Influence Media partners with Warner Music Group and BlackRock for right acquisitions management. So there's a three-headed dragon right now running around buying up catalog. Warner Music Group and BlackRock, get this, invest $750 million in influence media. Here's another one, right? This is what really caught my eye. I'm gonna reread that again, and I'm gonna read the whole sentence now, just so y'all get this. And a lot of y'all, a light bulb gonna go off in y'all head when I read this. Warner Music Group and BlackRock invest $750 million in influence media, comma, female-led music rights firm. So, if y'all wondered why y'all seeing a lot of female artists uprise right now, I hope that light bulb just went off in your head. BlackRock Warner Music invests $750 million in female and diverse artists. That came from Wall Street Journal. Influence Media buys stake in Julia Michaels' song catalog. Star songwriter Ali Tamposi sells catalog to new female-focused music fund. Influence Media Partners launches a $100 million fund to invest in catalogs of, get this, female music creators. So once again, if you're wondering why you're seeing a lot of female artists come out, it's because there's hundreds of millions of dollars invested in them to be released right now. There's a huge agenda pushed on female artists being released right in front of us. And like I said, I wondered why that was. I remember before when Beyonce Run the World dropped, right? And then I remember seeing the video of Jay-Z Legacy, right? Not Legacy, excuse me. Family Feud, Family Feud. At the end of Family Feud, there's a table full of female leaders. And at the end, it's a prediction of Blue Ivy being the president or leader of the world at the time. So a lot of things started pointing towards the industry knowing and pushing the agenda of females are running things right now. Like I said, it's not. I'm not gonna say it's a bad thing, but just know that there is an invested agenda behind this right now. Another thing that caught me by surprise. Let me go further down real quick. Was when I clicked on Hyperbot, right? I wanted to click on Hypebot because I was like, something tells me that this is a little bit AI related, right? I'm going to read this article here from Hypebot. Warner Music Group, Providence Equity have $650 million to acquire music catalogs. Warner Music Group and Providence Equity Partners are partnering to invest in recorded music and music publishing catalogs with the new joint venture Tempo Music Investments. Tempo was launched with $650 million in equity and debt capacity. Excuse me. With most of the equity coming from Providence, an investment firm specializing in the media, communications, education, and information industries. Warner Music Group will handle administration for music publishing and distribution for recorded music. Tempo will enlist Influence Media Partners, a new management company, to explore investment opportunities and drive catalog performance. Tempo's first acquisitions include select copyrights of Grammy Award-winning songwriters Jeff Basker, Shane McAnally, and Ben Rector. Now, real quick, I'm going to look up something real quick. Excuse me if I'm hitting the mic. I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to look up something real quick. In pertaining to this, of course, I want to look up Tempo real quick. Let's go to Tempo Music real quick, right? It's a reason, like I said, we're doing this. So, investing in content that transcends time is the main thing that you see on there, right? So another, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's be on the, since we live. Since we live. All right, so y'all can look with me real quick at a couple things. So this is the big group that's being funded, right? Now, the reason why I'm looking at this is because this is one of those things where it's like, okay, why wasn't Tempo announced like that? If y'all are funding Tempo, why haven't y'all did a huge, how you say, promotional launch of Tempo? And I think it's because they're going to use Tempo later on to fund these other what they're doing with the catalog. Basically, what they're doing with the catalog is whatever Tempo Music is. I'm thinking now, if we're talking about, say, for example, house music, right? That's what I thought about originally, was that if we're talking about, let's say, house music samples and things like that, a lot of these records have to be thrown through, you know what I mean, the publishing and the copyright ownership and things like that, right? However, this little interesting summary right here tells me a lot more. Tempo is an investment platform for premium music rights. Tempo exists to support, invest in, and build value around the creative ecosystem. We are passionate about music and investing. Our investment decisions are driven by a disciplined approach, informed by both art and science. That right there confirmed my original assumptions of why this fucking these catalogs are being bought up. That focuses on delivering compelling financial results while empowering the creative class. We are an affiliate of Providence Equity Partners, a diverse asset manager with over $49 billion in aggregate capital commitments. So there are some huge investors behind them besides Warner Music Group. Warner Music Group only gave them $750 million, but you see their bigwig partner has what? $49 billion in capital commitments. Okay? So there are some big wigs playing right now with these catalogs and trying to figure out what's going to be done with them. But as you just read with the art and science part, I think AI is going to play a heavy part in things. I.e., Timbaland selling his catalog and recently saying, hey, do y'all understand the opportunities that are coming about with us having to do that? With us selling our catalog, and not even selling our catalog, with us being able to work with artists that are no longer living and things like that. And who did I name up there? Beach Boys, Whitney Houston, among a few that are passed away, that can be worked with now through AI if you own the rights to things. Because we don't need to review the rest of this particular article, right? We don't need to review the rest of that in particular. But, I mean, y'all get the gist of what I'm saying here. It's evident that these labels are buying up a lot of catalog, and it's clear that they're going to do something of technology based with it. There's no reason why Logic would even say in the hit. You know what? Let's also get into that real quick because Logic said something that was very interesting. Also, when I noticed he had sold his catalog, I want to go to Complex. I was looking at. Oh yeah, making music has always been a creative outlet and a form of therapy for me. I've been humbled by how deeply it has connected with people around the world. Among the 185, excuse me, Logic said, adding that he was excited to partner with Influence on the deal. So among those songs, he also had 1-800, that 1-800 suicide record. That's among the catalog. That's among the songs that he sold. Um, they said Logic is a change maker with an independent mindset and entrepreneurial spirit. This comes from Renee McLean at Influence Media Partners. He's proven himself to be a multifaceted artist who never confines himself to one box. Influence Media made headlines for a similar deal for Future's publishing catalog. Per press release at the time included 612 tracks that dated all the way back to '04. So Logic has been working with these people from behind the scenes. And we all know Logic is a tech geek. That's really what I'm getting at here. I don't think a lot of people realize that particular part of it because they don't know about Logic. But if you know about Logic, Logic has also come forth and talked about the metaverse. A lot of the big wigs that sold their catalog, Justin Bieber, Dr. Dre, were also heavily in the publications talking about the metaverse and cryptocurrency and their investments in that. So it's no wonder that they're invested in the new wave of technology and things like that. As far as how AI is working, Logic has never been a quote unquote popular mainstream rap artist among the hip hop community. I'm a fan of Logic. Let me be on record saying that. But he's never been the quote unquote popular rapper within the community. If anything, he's been shunned, if you will, because of his appearance. But that, like I said, further tells me that once again, there is an agenda behind technology, and we will see what it actually is. We will see what that is in the coming future.